Every organization I've worked with has trouble figuring out how much strategic work they can realistically do and forecasting that work while balancing the everyday keep the lights on work. As leaders, we want teams to give us input, but we're often stuck in the middle with execs and customers on the other side demanding more. So what happens is we end up allowing that work to get pushed to the teams, but we all know that the more we push into the teams to be worked on simultaneously, the slower it all goes. So we have to find a way to answer this question of how much can we do and forecasting that with data. And I know you've probably had the experience of estimating big chunks of work. We think this epic is going to take 6 months. We think this project is going to take a year and a half. But trying to estimate in time requires having requirements pretty fleshed out. And it often drives us back to this mindset of waterfall. And that causes us to not really give space to ourselves to experiment and learn. And ultimately, we deliver a product that simply isn't as good as it could be. Okay, Christy, so do you have a solution or what? Yes, I do. Relative estimation. Okay. It is more accurate and it is faster than trying to estimate in time. In fact, you probably have some experience with relative estimation if you've ever slapped a small, a medium, or a large on some big effort. And let's be honest, it's often like all larges and extra larges, right? And it can be hard to boil those into data. So what I love doing with organizations is using the same system that teams use for user stories. But instead of story points, call them epic points or initiative points. And do not associate them with time. Just estimate them relative to each other. Go collect 10 or 15 of those initiatives, a mix of what you've done, what you've finished, and things you're trying to forecast. Find like things and use a simple Fibonacci scale to estimate that effort or that complexity. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Because we all know that the smaller something is, the easier it is to estimate. And the bigger something is, the harder it is to estimate. So Fibonacci keeps us from arguing about something being a 12 or a 13. It's just a 13. It's an estimate. So now, if you've done this with some work that you've already completed, we can start to build an organizational velocity, not based on wishful thinking, but based on what we've actually accomplished. And we can start to use that data to forecast what we can do in the future. So there's so much power in this, including the ability to experiment with our organizational WIP limits to see if we can really shift how much impact we have on the business. So give this a try. I want to hear how it's going. Please reach out with questions. I love this stuff. Okay, have fun.